Hello standard 5th students. Today we are going to start the lesson that is nothing but lesson number 2nd, motion of the earth. Today we are going to see some more points from this lesson. See from your textbook, a leap year. In an Gregorian calendar, the year is taken to have 365 days. That means in Gregorian you can say calendar, there is you can say 365 days in an year. It means that it counts 6 hours less every year. So it is counting 6 hours less every year. That makes 24 hours or 1 day in an every 4 years. That means what it makes? It makes 24 hours or 1 day in an you can say 4 years. To make up for this lost 1 day, the month of February in the Gregorian calendar has a extra day every 4th year. So there is a extra 4th day every year in the February. That year is called as a leap year. This is nothing but a leap year. And it has 366 instead of 365 days. There are 366 days instead of 365 days in an year. And February has 29 instead of 28 days. Then see, do you know? You know that the length of the day and the night is always not equal. Whenever you see that the length of the day or you can say length of the night is always not equal. This happens because the earth inclined axis and its revolution round the sun. Why this is happening? This is happening due to the you can say earth is having an inclined axis and its revolution round the sun. Then see, in the northern hemisphere between 22 March and 23 September, the days are longer than the nights. So what happens here? In the northern hemisphere is a hemisphere or you can say part which is present in the north part of the earth. So what does this tells us here? That 22 March and 23 September. So these days are longer than the nights. Therefore, it is warmer there. So what happens? So therefore, the atmosphere is warm there. That is, it is summer in the northern hemisphere. That is, it is nothing but a summer in the northern hemisphere. However, during this same period, in the southern hemisphere, the nights are longer. But in the southern hemisphere, what happens? The nights are longer, and in the northern hemisphere, the days are longer. So due to which there is a summer in the north side. Then see, the earth gets less heat in this part, and therefore it is winter in the southern part. As there is a you can say low heat in the southern part. So therefore there is a winter in the southern part. Then see, in period from 23 September to you can say 22 March, the days are longer. What happens? See there, from 23 September to 22 March, the days are longer than the nights in the southern hemisphere. It gets more heat and it is summer there. Now in the you can say southern hemisphere between 23 September to 22 March, what happens? The days are longer there, and as the days are longer, there is a much heat and it suffers the summer there, or it has the you can say summer there. So it gets more heat. So it is getting more heat and the summer, and it is summer there. In this period, in the northern hemisphere, whenever there is a summer in the southern period, what happens in the northern period? the nights are longer. Therefore, there it is a winter at that time. That means whenever there is a summer at the northern side, there will be the winter at the southern side. Whenever there will be the summer at southern side, there will be the winter in the, you can say, northern side. Then see, the northern hemisphere gets less heat and it is winter there. Then see, note that there are many differences in these days to the, you can say, due to the leap year. Now there are many, you can say, differences between them due to the leap year also. In India, the summer, the rainy season and the winter are considered as the main seasons. We also divide the year into 6 seasons, that is namely Vasant, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemant and Shishir. Then see next one. This cycle of 6 seasons is called as a Rutu Chakra. Many of our festivals are connected with this season. Many of the festivals are connected with this season. Many of our songs and games are also related to the different seasons. Now see here next one, what we are going to learn. See here the full moon and the new moon. The moon revolves round the earth and earth revolves round the sun. We know that moon is revolving round the earth and earth is revolving round the sun. However, these two orbits intersect whenever both of them they are revolving against each other. Means what? See what does the tells? Moon revolves round the earth and earth revolves round the sun. However, these two orbits intersect. That means they are both intersecting. Hence, the sun, the moon and the earth, they are not always along a straight line. Means they are not along in a straight line. We see half of the moon's surface which faces the earth, that is from the earth. We see only one side of the moon. Why we see one side of the moon from the earth? Because here half of the moon surface only faces the earth. Therefore, we can see only half part of the earth. The moon has no light. The moon is having no light of its own. We can see the moon because of sun's light. We can see the moon because of the sun's light that falls on it. As the sun's light is falling on the moon, we can see the moon. Then see, on a full moon night, we see entire side of the moon. On the full moon night, we see entire side of the moon that faces the earth. On a new moon light, we cannot see any of it. We cannot see any of it. Then see, from full moon to new moon, the illuminated part means which is in a light, part of a moon seen from the earth becomes smaller and smaller. As see, from full moon to new moon, what happens? The part of the, you can say, moon becomes smaller and smaller. From new moon to full moon, it becomes again bigger and bigger. These differences or these different shapes of the moon that we see are called as the phases of the moon. Now see in your textbook, the lunar month and the days, which is called as a tithi. We know that it takes 14 to 15 days from new moon to full moon. So what happens? See there, it takes how much days? 14 to 15 days from new moon to full moon. This is fourth night of the, you can say, waxing moon. So see what happens there. There is a 15 days, you can say, period in which the, you can say, 14 to 15 days period from new moon to full moon. So this is nothing but a waxing of the moon. That means it becomes black in color. After the full moon, the moon disappears smaller and smaller. What happens? Then the moon becomes smaller and smaller. And after 14 to 15 days, in a new moon again, days it is new moon again. This period of fortnight is called as a, you can say, waning moon. That is thus the period from one moon to next moon is 28 to 30 days. It is called as the lunar month. Every day of the lunar month is called as a tithi. We are calling the every day of the lunar month as the tithi. Then see next one. The new moon day, 15 days there will be, you can say, the new moon. After 15 days it will become the full moon. That is nothing but the waxing of the moon, which is called as a Shukla Paksha. Then the full moon after 15 days there will be the new moon appearing. There will be waning of the moon. This is Krishna Paksha. So fortnight of waxing moon and fortnight of a waning moon, together they are called as a lunar month.